Damn it!
You just look like two holding a broken piece of wood in a coat.
While sitting around perusing the internet recently, I found this really cool sculpture from Bruno Catalano. Bruno Catalano for the Yinzers out there. As you can see here, the sculpture is of a man who's essentially missing most of his parts, but it still works in the sculpture because he is holding this bag. The bag becomes an extension, which makes it look really cool, and I really like the concept of this illusion, so I wanted to make it into a piece of furniture. I got to brainstorming with the minions, and we came up with coat rack, so we're gonna give this a shot. I've got some beloved sticks of white oak left over from the rocking chair that I am going to magically turn into something awesome. Damn it, it didn't work.
Probably because I'm in the shot.
Damn it, Jordan. So to make this work, we're gonna make this thing about 6 feet tall, do a little doodle ski. I think I wanna build it like full, if I have the materials, and then break it and make it float. I'm just winging it. But I do wanna make it kind of look good. So we'll need 2 20s, and a couple 4s. So let's see what we got. Oh, some lucky ass material yield, because I did not measure before I cut any of that. All right! I don't know what I'm doing. Let's lay some shit out. So essentially, I just want to put a little bit, I could do these square, but then like, boring. I think I want to do an angled bridle joint, you know, for the kids. I've never done this. I just love doing things I've never done. Take the angle that I like, probably gonna end up being something absolutely absurd. What in the fabricable's name is Jordan doing down there? It sounds like he's wrestling a bear. All right, that's 15 degrees, crazy. Is a thing that resembles a thing looking like a thing that I planned at the thing.
You did it.
All right, kids, so this is what a leg is gonna look like, and we need another one to cross it. And if you're curious, what we just did there is we created what's called a bridle joint, I think, an angled bridle joint. I've done these like once or twice. I don't know if we've ever done them angled, but regardless, I went pretty smooth, a little bit of sanding and refinement to get them to fit properly. And then we need to do our lap joint in the center here. And to do that, I'm gonna use the table saw. So that's why this thing is not glued up yet. To make sure everything is copacetic, we're gonna measure all from one side and transfer it around, because I'm pretty sure that's the right way to do it. Now I just need a small thing. Clamp-y-otomy. It's 14 and 15/16. Say what?
7 and 15 30 seconds to the center.
My favorite number. Damn it. Where's these 32s at? Here's a tip, kids.
Here's a lazy way to do it.
I have this set to what I think is the closest mark to 7 and 17 30 seconds to give me center. Now, the one thing you're gonna run into, especially in woodworking, is the thickness of your pencil.
That's a thick ass bar!
It's gonna throw things off. So what we've got here is I took that measurement from both sides and I can put my pencil between them, and that should get me close enough. Is it the most precise way to do things? No, but when you're me and you're making poetry like we are over here, that's how we get her done. Something. I made a thing. I gotta make sure we add that to the album. I made a thing.
It's good.
All right, the old Makaruski here is mocked up, and I think we should glue it.
How are you attaching the other part to it?
Yeah, the post.
You got questions? You guys doubt me?
I was just, you know what, here.
So before we continue with this absolutely ridiculous project, I want to take a second to thank this week's sponsor, ButcherBox. For those Ians that are not familiar with ButcherBox, it is a meat delivery service. Yes, I said meat delivery directly to your door. I know a lot of you are carnivores like myself, and I definitely love how easy it is to order from ButcherBox. They've got a ton of variety, and you can get high quality meat at an affordable price. You never pay for shipping. You get 100% grass-fed and grass-finished beef, free-range organic chicken, heritage breed pork, and more delivered directly to your doorstep, which saves you time and money. For me, I love both of those things, and I like to keep them. So ButcherBox makes a ton of sense for me and my family, especially because we're working a ton and we have the little one now. So going to the grocery store just is not that convenient. No matter where you live, every family has access to high quality cuts of meat with ButcherBox, and that's something that is very important to me and my family. So if yins find those things important as well, ButcherBox is giving you free ground beef for life. Yes, I said that correctly. Free ground beef for life. If you use the link that just popped up across your screen, ButcherBox is giving that to each and every one of you that sign up right there, which is a pretty slamming deal. I don't know about yins guys, but I love ground beef. So big thank you to ButcherBox for an incredible offer. So do yourself a favor, hit that link in the description and get that free ground beef for life. Yins guys definitely need to check them out. Now, I'm gonna get back to some of the most ridiculous stuff we've ever done around here. Excuse me. Hi. All right, so domino, center domino. So that's why we have to have a glue on glue surface, and then that tenon will actually give us reinforcement through the post all the way up through. So
Works for me.
What would you like to do?
We're ordering Domino's.
So we dry, which means it's time to continue the awesomeness.
That's awesome.
I'm going to touch this up with a little bit of sanding first before it gets too cumbersome, and then we'll work on the joinery for the posts, and then how we're gonna fabricable the hidden part with a coat or something or other. So, moving along. Done.
Still a 2x4 in this yard.
That's just in case of an emergency.
You know why that's up there, right?
Back break.
That infamous day.
3. Oh, my back. Hopefully getting that down is gonna be easy. Looking pretty good. I'm happy with the way it looks. I think I'm gonna actually keep this profile, Sam, after I said that.
Liar.
Can you go up and grab my coat? Come on. All right, so I feel like this is about right here. If we do this correctly, we should be able to kind of like put out here to like here. Oh, that 3 inches? Think that's gonna make a difference?
If it's not gonna make a difference, then why not do it?
One, I'm completely lost in what the f that means. 2, I gotta have somewhere to mount our hidden item. So, I mean, as not cool as it would be to be just up here, it won't work that way. Maybe it will. Should I come out of here all the way down? Regardless, we need to break that right about there, because then I can cut the top to whatever size I want. Who wants to get creative with how we're gonna break this? So to try and achieve a crack here, that looks like the piece was broken and like looked good. I have no clue how to do this, because it's pretty ridiculous if you ask me. So what I'm gonna do is put like a little relief cut and then flip it over and beat it with a sledgehammer, obviously. This is gonna be awful. The amount of people that are gonna complain about me just smashing white oak is gonna be incredible.
Hey.
Guess how many people will complain in this video about me ruining white oak when they can't get hardwood?
It's art, Mom. You wouldn't understand.
All right, shall we?
Oh, it's split. I saw a split.
But the other thing is we don't really want to damage this. Put the bear paws on it. See how it said it was cut pretty straight? Damn it!
Go ahead.
What?
Come on.
We're making headway, I think. It looks like it's kind of the profile we're going for. I think another addition. There we go. All right, let's work on the other one. I'm essentially just kind of like, I wanted it to look like it was a 2x4 in a tornado, which is hard to replicate. Just kind of like hold it up. Looks like a coat rack floating in the air.
You just look like 2 idiots holding a broken piece of wood in a coat. Trust the process.
So getting squirrely, because my drill press doesn't have a vertical table and my CNC operator is drunk. I'm gonna drill a mortise hole for a rod. We're gonna use a dowel to put this into the base. So Tight Bond makes this bungee tape stuff. I think that's what it's called.
Actually, I have no idea.
No idea. And we're going to use it as a clamp. So this majestic piece of art is looking majestic and arty. So,
Like Art Rooney?
rest easy. These things are pretty cool. Oh, I'll have a link in the description. These are usually used for like lashing things together, like in weird places. And I think it's reusable a couple times. So to make this illusion work, my vision quest is this needs to be floating up here. And in the statue, which will be popping up right there, you can see that the bag is what becomes the extension of the human element of that. And like the part that's missing, the bag connects the leg to the arm and the upper torso. So to get a similar effect, I think I want to take some of this flat bar and bend it to where it'll like loop around the outside. To do this, let's just try this. Oh. I'm a strong man. Oh, nice.
Lay it on the grimiest surface in the shop.
We need the coat to span the height of the coat rack. Make sure when you guys are investing in your workshop, you get yourself a good old strong knee. Baby blacksmith. We should definitely do some blacksmithing though. I've been watching this Max Randolph guy, and if you didn't know, I'm slightly obsessed with him. All right, I'm gonna weld a tab on here to mount it to that, and then we're gonna see if this thing works. Now, go mock. Conceptually, it actually looks like what we're trying to do.
Let's do it.
Grab the jacket. I think it's gonna have a little too much bounce. I think we might have to adjust.
This is also like a ridiculous bump out now that I look at it.
Well, I wanted it to fill the hood, so it, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's really kind of weird looking.
Yeah, that was the intent. Now all we need is a little Halcyon Clear, and this thing's gonna pop. Let us spray. What? This thing turned out pretty sweet. I think we captured what I was going for, mimicking the sculpture. For those of you that didn't know, this is how she works. I got this little bar here, and this was a lot of fun. A lot of creative thinking outside the box, and just another piece of cool floating optical illusion furniture. If you guys want to see more floating furniture, I got a whole playlist right here.